go. My camera's all out of whack and I don't know how to fix it. It's really annoying. Whatever. It's also leaning against the bench, so you may get some wobbles. Like, everything's hit the fan just as I started to record. Like the camera's on yeah, whatever. It's fine. I just want to look at the camera and hope that everything will be fine. The lie is already in here, or I wouldn't be panicking. I've had enough soaping mistakes this week. Thank you very much. And this is what happens when you soap hot. Yes, even I have issues. And this was nothing. The colour was mixed in before the lye went in and everything. I knew I was soaping too hot when I started, because it was super hot to the touch. And I went, oh, it's alright, you know, but because I was making soap sprinkles with it, it was, what is going on? I don't know. The tripod's moved. The tripod's broken and it's moved at some point. I don't know when it moved. It could have just possibly have done it by itself. It might be possessed. But anyway, yeah, that soap sprinkle mixture, I only use a 1-to-1 ratio and I don't bother putting any extra liquid in it. And usually it's fine. But because I soaped hot, see, that's the thing, like soaping hot leaves you zero room for errors, ever, which is why I always tell people don't soap hot. There is zero reason to soap hot. It just, all it does is causes you trouble. If you soap at room temperature, and when we say room temperature, we just mean like an average temperature. Today here it is 19, 20 degrees, right? Celsius. Now this probably is a little warmer than that, but not probably by much. But room temperature, if you soap under 30 degrees, you should be good. But people who are soaping at like 40 and 50 degrees, it's like, why would you soap that hot? I don't understand. It's generally lack of knowledge, because people haven't been taught to soap cool and don't understand the benefits of soaping cool, and then they put in the fragrance that will accelerate, or a fragrance that behaves, and your soap's too hot and it just goes, you know. So yeah, because normally I can soap with a 1-to-1 ratio with no extra liquid, just say 50 grams of lye and 50 grams of water mixed together to make 100 grams of lye solution, no extra liquid, and I can usually use that. But because I soaped too hot, that's set up within, it still took probably maybe 10 minutes before it did that, but it did that really, really quickly. Like 1 minute I was scooping it out to put on soap sprinkles, and the next minute it was lumpy in the middle because it was setting up. So I don't know what's slippery. Who knows? Alright, we're going to give this a whiz because the lye is in here and she's not loosening up quick enough for my liking. So we'll give it a whiz and we'll go. Alright, so editing Lee, can you please tell the people how long that took? But you can see now that this is emulsified and, well, yeah, no, it's emulsified. It's not a light trace yet, it's still just emulsified. As you can see, it's not leaving any trace on the top of there, which is what trace is. It's not a technical term, it's a visual term for us, so we can just, you know, if you want to tell someone what thickness your batter is, you say it's light, medium or thick trace. And soap people know that, where it's not like an actual measurement of anything. So, but this is emulsified, so that just means that everything's sticking together, nothing's, you know, separating, which would be what sticking together means. I don't know why I said the both of them, honestly. Sometimes I wonder why I over-explain things. I don't know. I like the sound of my own voice, apparently. Alright, so we're going to mix up some purple, because we love the purple. Now this, I can't remember, I'm pretty sure it isn't in the pot swirl, so we might do a little bit more. Making a mess. paper towel. Yes, it's in the pot swirl for sure. For sure. Okay, so I'm going to use 3 different purples. It also looks like it's slightly purple. I'm going off of this soap that I've made before and making that. But I'm thinking that this is very lightly purple in the batter. I don't think that's just a batter colour. So I'm going to throw a little bit of wisteria in that. Spoon. Where have I put the spoons now? There they are. I need to stop moving shit so I can find it. Alright, so I'm just going to put a little bit in there. And then we're going to put a bit more of it in here. And also this is a lot less. Because it needs to be a little bit darker, but not too dark. Alright, so this one is Purple Pizzazz. It is a synthetic. I'm going to put a bit of that in there. And then to get a bit of sparkle, we're going to do Indigo Sparkle, which is another synthetic, which actually barely colours your soap, so it's kind of pointless to use it on its own, but it does give a sparkle in the soap. So, alright, let's have a look at that. We may have to put in a bit of, oh, so pretty. Look at that. How pretty is that? That's the wisteria. So it's a beautiful colour. We'll give it a whiz and then we'll see if it needs some titanium. Actually it will. I already know. I'm just going to put some in. I'm going to give this a mix because it's my brand new titanium. Didn't have a choice, had to buy some. Alright, I'll put that much in. So this should go a nice pretty pastel, very pastel purple. Oh, use your stick blender correctly, fool. Oh, poof. Okay, I'll take that back. It'll go a really gross colour because it's wisteria. I forgot. What are we going to put in there instead? Just to, yeah, I know. It's okay. That won't stay that colour. I'm just going to chuck a little tiny bit, like a little tiny bit of eminence in there. And as you can see, oh, this is the other reason why I hate these freaking jars. Because look, there's just, because they have screw tops, you can see, and this is how they came, there's all mica in the screw top. And I really just don't like that at all. This is why I prefer the bags and then I put them in these. And you don't get that in the tops of these. But anyway, there's not much I can do about it now. Alright, give this a bit more of a whiz. No, it didn't help. It won't stay that colour though. Oh, I took this and not this. Now, that's my washing machine. I'm terribly sorry. It's very wobbly. There you go, that's a lovely pretty colour, but it's not as dark. It should be alright. I'm just going to put that in there, get that bit of colour off. I don't think I should talk and then halfway through a sentence use that. I don't think this fragrance does anything stupid, but do is I'm going to scrape down these sides, make sure she's all mixed up. In focus probably be good. You can go over there. You can go over there. I just realised I haven't cut the star embed to the correct length yet. So we'll get a mould out. There was a reason I needed the knife. Like I had the knife over the other side of the room. I thought, I'll bring that over because I know I need that for something. What do I need that for? And I was like, I don't need that. But I'll bring it anyway. So I did. That's a little bent. It doesn't really matter. Oh, now it's got kaolin clay on it. Good on ya. Okay, so there. Alright. Like that. Huh. It's a different colour on the inside. Yep, beautiful. Yeah, it's a different colour on the inside. It's interesting, isn't it? I wonder why. Hasn't got any fragrance in it. Huh. Maybe it's I don't know what that word is. Maybe it gelled. It's kind of weird though. Yeah, now what I was saying before, I don't know if this Blackberry Lavender does anything stupid. Let's have a look. I can't remember. Didn't watch the last one. When do I ever prepare for a soap? I don't. I'm shocking. No, that's perfectly fine. Alright. I don't hate this fragrance, honestly. If I'm gonna be completely honest, and you know I like to be, I don't hate this fragrance. I'm not a fan, but the Blackberry is strong enough in it. Oh Jesus, that went halfway across the room. Wow. Yeah, the Blackberry is strong enough in it that it doesn't, that it's not like super lavendery, but you do get the lavender in it. But yeah, I mean, I don't mind lavender if it's like really faint in the background, but this smells very, it smells like you would get a soap in it. It's got that kind of soapy smell. So I guess it's good for soap. Because it's the sort of soap, it's the sort of smell you would expect to get like an actual bar of soap in. Wow, messy today. It's because I'm rushing. So I said to Bree the other day, I said, I was making some soap and it made me change nationalities. And she goes, what? Now, okay, so I'm just going to pour this in here from fairly high. I'm going to leave some in here and I'll show you why. I mean, it's not like anyone who soaps doesn't know. But usually when you pour, oh Christ, lost my words. Usually when you pour in the pot swirl, you'll lose all of your colour as you pour. And so sometimes it's good to just top it up a little bit. Alright, so we're going to pour some first, like this. So as you can see now, see how most of the colour has come out? What I'm going to do is I'm going to put my star in. Wasn't sure if that was the star then. I just had to think about that. Oh, that's not very straight. Doesn't matter. Each bar is different. Alright. I'm just going to do that. Make sure it falls down in there and it doesn't have an air pocket underneath it. So now, because there's not a lot of colour left in that, I'll put the rest of this in here. And it will give me colour for the rest of the batter. You don't have to. I mean, it running out of colour does lend itself quite well to a really interesting design. And then you sort of have a lot of colour down the bottom and not a lot of mix up the top, which is good. No, that a lot of colour down the bottom but not up the top. No, that one doesn't have it. I was going to say I'll show you, but the last one doesn't look like that. So I'm going to give this a mix through with the spatula. Not a big one, just a little one. And then get all them sides down. All of those sides, and use my English correctly. And then we're just going to pour this. I'm going to pour fairly gently on top of that star. And then just pour out the rest. Like this, and you can see how the colour goes all the way through to the bottom now because I did that, whereas before there was no colour sort of in there. Just a little tip. Just the tip with Lee and Sam, except there's no Sam. And again, that's just a reference to another maker, not a soap maker. It's John Malecki, if you like. I've mentioned John's channel before. If you're interested in furniture making and that sort of stuff, and childish man children. It is a good channel. They do give you a lot of tips and stuff. This has nothing on the top. This is like a really boring top. I don't know why it's a really boring top, but it is. Alright. Yes, they are a bunch of man children, there's no doubt. But they would probably be also the first ones to tell you that. But they do give you a lot of tips. They've just renovated John's kitchen because he's just had a baby. Well, he hasn't. His wife has. And yes, and it was interesting to watch the trials and tribulations because they are reasonably honest, I would guess, and they do show you their mistakes. But they also have competitions where the younger fellas go up against John, and they will make a piece of furniture out of particular, like a certain set amount of timber, and yeah, and that it's always interesting to see what they come up with. But yeah, if that's the sort of channel that floats your boat, then I would recommend that channel because I quite like watching it. I mean, the shenanigans are a little childish at times, but you know, you just have to put up with that shit. It was like watching, what was it? Not Counting Cars, because I don't find Counting Cars to be a particularly childish. Well, I say that, but Horny Mike is a complete dickhead. He's like the biggest man-child I've ever seen, but he's pretty much the only one. And I also think that Count's hot, so there's that. Danny, his name is Danny. Anyway, what was that other one with Richard? Oh, what was that one? That was like super childish. He was just a giant man-child. But anyway, we've made a soap now. We could probably talk about that. Let's talk about the soap. Nothing to say. I quite enjoy making this one because I'm not standing here gagging at the smell. There's that. Because it's not like a gag-worthy lavender, which is good. Do we have a purple? We don't. That's a pity. I'm gonna put a bit of Blizzard on the top of it because Blizzard is not really, it just gives more like a sheen than a glitter. I'll bring it up and I'll show you. Because it's a really fine particle, it doesn't like glitter. Can you see that? You really can't. I don't know if it'll focus in or not. It may. Let me just... You see how small those particles are? That's why it gives more of a sheen. So you can see how that's more of a sheen than like a full-on glitter sparkle. It's just really nice. If you're doing a plain top like this and you want to just dress it up a smidge, that's a good way to do it. So I just don't like making soaps without glitters. Alright, well now I have to make a soap that I really don't want to because it stinks. But alright. Okay my friends, she's ready for her Instagrams. I will see you for the cutting. Bye. Hello. It got very quiet in here all of a sudden. I didn't realise quite how loud the music was. That's okay. I don't mind. The neighbours might, but I do not. Considering they start at 5:30 every day, I don't care if I'm annoying them. They can get stuffed. Okay, so that colour in the middle of the star hasn't gone away. I hope it does. Oh, it's pretty though. Stinks. This is why I have gloves on. I made a some other stinky thing. Oh, Arabian Nights. Oof. Yeah. Okay, I have a hair stuck on my glove. Yeah, it just, ugh. I can't touch it. It's just foul. I don't know what's going on with this star. It had no fragrance in it. Did it? No, it did not have any fragrance in it. So I don't know. I'm really disappointed with that. I hope that goes away, otherwise I'm going to have to remake this. Because that's friggin' awful. I'm sure I didn't have any... Ugh, what did I smell that? What's wrong with me? I'm sure I didn't put any fragrance in the star when I made it. No, I didn't. I can double check because it was in a video. I poured it off before I put fragrance in. I'm sure of it. Well, I'm not 100% sure now looking at this soap. And you can't even see the bloody star, it's just like a big lump there. So, that's really disappointing. This has got a few glycerin rivers in it too. Oh, no, that's fair enough. I did put extra liquid in, not extra. I put the full amount of liquid in it because I was a bit worried it was going to accelerate. So yeah, I did put titanium dioxide in there, so that's not surprising. That star's really disappointing though, isn't it? The thing is, it's not like it. Well, it's not like it the whole way through. Like at the start, it wasn't that bad, was it? No, it wasn't as bad as it is there. So, I don't know whether the heat of the soap when it went through gel, which I can't even tell if it's gone through gel or not. I don't know, I'm a bit worried about that. But anyway, if I have to remake it, I'll remake it, that's fine. It's kind of annoying. I'll have to try and remember. Well, I haven't edited the video with the video that I made the star, so it's got to be the next one or two, I would think. Anyway, that's it. Keep our fingers crossed. If anything changes, if it goes back to how it's supposed to, I'll chuck a photo up on Insta. Other than that, I'll see you for the next one. Bye.